You're convicted of attempting a coup d'etat. You'll be sentenced to 100 years. Why not for 150 years straight away, huh? Shut up right now, what are you talking about, you moron? Dad, even if he puts us in jail for 200 years, this is still a complete nonsense. As you wish, you'll be sentenced to 200 years. Devil tempt your tongue. 200, yeah. In vain you're laughing, Kurapov. We have a new development for the prisoners. It's called body renewal. What did you say? You will go procedures that are not very pleasant. I would even say very unpleasant. They'll rejuvenate you for many years. According to our experiments, you'll live for 200 years, but still sitting in prison. And why other people don't do these procedures so they'll live for 200 years? It's so unpleasant, or rather more painful, that no one is going to live for that long, but experience such hell. But they really work. People live for 5 or even 6 times longer. Well, at least one good thing. When I'll come out, you'll be already dead. No. For me it will take only few moments. But you'll come out broken like slave. Ah, yeah. And you'll be 260 years old. What the hell? I guess he's talking about the compressor of time. Didn't you know about it? Yeah, Daddy is telling you the right thing. It's a pity that he'll go with you. What compressor of time it even is? Soon you'll know it by yourself. Lead them to the underground prison. From the boat again flew out those familiar to me energy threads. They wrapped around my and my father's hands. I was already used to these energy handcuffs. The thing is that the more you move, the more they tighten, burning through your flesh and entering the meat. It was impossible to get out of them, but I got used how to use them. All you need to do is just to relax and breathe deeply. They lose their grip and then you can even move your hands. My father and I were taken to the flying paddy wagon. It's like the car, but with prison cell inside. We started to fly. I looked out the window and I noticed that we were flying up to some kind of circle. It was a giant circle with diameter of several kilometers. It consisted of some giant pipes, and in the middle of it there was a landing pad. Hadron Collider 2. What are you talking about? What Hadron Collider? These are long looped pipes around 20 kilometers long. They accelerate the particles faster than the speed of the light, and the time is compressed right in the center of the circle. I thought they were just bluffing that they are taking us to the time compressor. It turns out they did not. I've only heard about it, and what I heard, it's a real nightmare. We landed in the center of the circle. There was a booth. When it opened, it turned out that it was an elevator. The boats pushed us in there, the doors closed, and the elevator rushed down at its full speed, as if it was going to the center of the earth. It was descending so quickly that I even flew up a little. There are no gravity compensators in this elevator. I'm just got used to them being everywhere. When we were flying in the paddy wagon, there was no deceleration or acceleration feeling. Vanya, this is a prison zone. Who on earth will install here the gravity compensators? Wake up! Who are you so dumb after? How did you even pass the selection and become my son? What kind of selection are you even talking about? And why do you always have the slip of tongue calling me the object instead of son? Oh, I mean the natural selection. Natural selection of sperm. You passed it and you're the best of it. You're hiding something. You told me that you have a time machine and it can move only one person. But you moved with me. Of course I hide something. I work in special forces of ANTISPARE. So, of course, something remains hidden. What a nonsense! Why then you're being jailed with me for trying a coup d'etat? And why doesn't the president even know you? Silence! Shut up! I guess that we have landed. The elevator slowed down, the doors finally opened, and we were led for a long time through some kinds of winding corridors. We were led to the huge hall, in which there were windows in the floor. I heard the president saying something over a loudspeaker.
Kurapov, you asked me what kind of time compressor is this? Well, look at the far right window on the floor.
I approached to that window, and I've seen some kind of pot with dirt. Some kind of lamp was lighting it up, and there was nothing else around. Suddenly I heard a sound, a piercing whistle, as if air was forced out. Some sort of depressurization or something. Suddenly, the window opened. The bot flew up to the pot, dug something in the ground, and then flew out. Just in front of you, bot K456 planted a maple seed in this pot, and now the time compressor will turn on. The window was about half a meter wide, mega reinforced, and then it closed again with a loud rumble. I saw how literally in a second a tree burst from the ground, instantly grew up. It was like a fast-paced film, a time lapse. The leaves fell out, then grew, then turned yellow, then turned green. The changing colors made my eyes blur. I even felt a CC.
Right now, 10 years have passed there.
Your prison cell is nearby. Go there with your father. And thank God that you won't be alone there. The whistle of depressurization was heard again, but another window opened. A larger chamber. I understood that it was for us. You'll serve a sentence of 200 years. The robot squeezed the handcuffs as the sign that we need to move there, and we went down. There was a staircase like in old houses, a fire exit on the side. We went downstairs, we looked around. There were 2 beds and 2 long metal pillars that are found in morgues. The bot flew out from the camera, the glass closed, and I've seen how the bot glitched above the glass, glitched and didn't move. And I felt the smell. The smell of oldness. Well, they turned on the compressor. Do you see? The bot has freezed. They just put some kind of image there. It's just a screen. No, it moves but very slow. For them the time works differently. When it flies from one edge of the window to the other edge, it will take them around 2 seconds. And for us, I don't know, maybe 1 year, maybe 10s. It all depends how they accelerated the time compressor. Maybe it will take the whole 200 years. So that our lives ends here, we will end up here and we want to escape. Don't you see, it's impossible to get out of here. And even if we would, we will be just sliced apart because of time continuum difference. Or because of you dumb son. Oh well, enough of this circus. I already understood that you're not my father. I was just overwhelmed with my emotions. And until the very end I deceived myself that you were my real father. At least one familiar face from my childhood. Why do you think so? Because I don't remember at all what happened before I was 8 years old. Like some kind of darkness. I can't even remember a thing. And you lie a lot. What anti-spare service? I was a president. I know about every anti-spare service. And there's no secret anti-spare service. And you're always talking about some object, but not about your son. I'm your father and that's it. For real? And our special service is so secret that even the president can't know about it. This is necessary for multilateral control so that the president doesn't do the stupid things. I wanted to believe it so bad that I decided not to think about it. And since I wanted to maintain the relationship with my supposed father in order to get out of this strange place and to somehow survive in these conditions. First I climbed up to the window and using the bot silhouette, I drew a small line right on the window. What are you doing, huh? This is to understand that the bot has at least moved for a little bit. So, 1 day passed, then a second, after that a third, then a week. foot appeared by itself right from the wall. There was a special window. The lights came on and the window opened, and there was always a water and a simple porridge, or some kind of mixture of vitamins and nutrients. They had different tastes, but they were always disgusting. Either rancid fish or rotten meat. It was impossible to eat that. But we had no choice. We ate that. A year passed. I ran every day to see if the boat had moved even for 1 millimeter relative to the line. But it didn't. Oh, why are you flicking here and there, here and there, here and there? You keep climbing to that stupid window. It won't open. And that boat, it won't move. You're already making me sick. Yes, you've gotten on my nerves no less this year, you goddamn freaking agent. Because of you we are here. For this year you could have just imagined how do we get out of this goddamn place. Don't call me like that. And how should I call you? Daddy? My name is Vadim. I'm from the services of FTPS. What? Federal Time Protective Service. We are working to ensure that no one creates a time machine and that in future there are no illegal time machines. We have a monopoly on time machines. And how's that even possible? Well, do you remember on flash drive of time there were dates limited to 20-30 years, and then there was a break, like the end of the world. It was specially created so at some point the end of the world will occur. We were trying to push back this end of the world or even avoid it, but in the end it came even closer because of the antispare that you have taught me. And if the antispare wasn't introduced, I guess that there wasn't end of the world at all. We need to remove it. That's right, antispare is the world where cruelty is legalized. And it's forbidden to spare anyone, even yourself, even cats. A humanity needed a controllable end of the world, an end of the world that can be controlled. And with help of anti-spare and control, we made it. We moved an end of the world a little bit forward, a little bit back. What a nonsense! It's not a nonsense. The thing is that you can have the time to control only 20 years ahead. And if the end of the world was pushed to 200 years ahead, or God forgive me, doesn't exist at all, then it's a true horror. Almost every child can create a time machine, and time-space continuum will arise, and everything will be collapsed. It's like an end of the world, but on bigger scale, the end of the universe, or something like that. He went on and on how everything worked, and I got completely confused. My head was spinning. I still didn't understand how would I come up with the anti-spare in future. And I also didn't understand how my insulation in the time will affect course of events. We looked all over the room, but found nothing. Not even one, not even a single crack. We didn't understand how to get out. Out of desperation, I started writing books with porridge on morgue tables. When the table ran out, I erased everything and started to write a new one. My beard and mustache started to grow. Moreover, they became white. And Vadim was all covered in wrinkles. I've lost counting how many years we were sitting here a long time ago. I stopped thinking about liberty or any future life. I was just like an animal. I was eating and staring to nowhere. I only regretted one thing, that I wouldn't have children and that I wouldn't live a normal life like an ordinary person. And if I'll get out, I'll just be a useless old man. We started to notice that the boat was moving. He flew from one edge of the window to the second edge and almost disappeared from the view. At some point I started hallucinating. I've seen the spiders climbing on the walls and even on my skin, and when I touched it, they ran away quickly. Vadim, my joints started to ache, and my back, it doesn't even bend. I can't even reach the floor. Oh. Welcome to the old age. Say thanks to your heart that it doesn't fart yet. Oh, damn. And I was young, promising agent. I could have become the timekeeper, become a colonel. But no, I'm rotting here unarmed, with an object.
Prepare for the regeneration procedure.
Oh yeah, the president told that we'll live for 200 years. I already forgot. I guess that the memory is failing me. The metal tables on which I was writing with the porridge started to pulse. I saw how the porridge started to evaporate. Then the tables became clean and they were sparking. Suddenly, sparkling threads came out from the table. First they wrapped around my arms and pulled me to the table. Then 2 other threads wrapped around my legs and pulled me to the other edge of the table. I was as if crucified on this table. Vadim, help me! Do something! How could I help if I'm chained to the table too? I remember President was talking about some unpleasant procedure. I guess it will start now. Some tube came out from the ceiling and dozens of spirals poured out of it. I looked closer and realized that those were just a small robot. First they started to burn my clothes. They got hot and my clothes caught fire. At first, clothes were covered with small holes, but then they disappeared completely. I was lying on the table, crucified and completely naked.
Begin cleaning the cavities in the couple's bodies and removing the epithelial tissues.
What are cavities? What the hell is your epithelium tissue even is? How are they going to renew us? Epithelial tissue is what covers us from the inside. In the mouth, in the intestines, in the bladder. All this cover is epithelial tissue. According to the science, it becomes old the fastest, and because of it, the tumors arises, and because of it, the most death occur. But I just didn't knew that it could be rejuvenated or renewed. Damn. Are they going to peel it? Thanks for the medical certificate. You'd better tell me what to do and how do I get out? I saw how the mini spider bots grouped together in my stomach and then divided themselves into 2 groups. One group crawled up to my face and tried to enter my mouth. No, I won't give up so easily. I clenched my teeth with all my might. They were like walls, but they just went around and entered my nostrils. I sneezed as much as I could. Snot flowed like a river. I didn't know what was happening, but I felt that they went down my nasopharynx right to my stomach. The gag reflex kicked in and I threw up. But there wasn't a single spider in my vomit. Suddenly, everything inside of me started to burn like hell. I started to breathe out the smoke. I could smell fried meat in that smoke. Worse pain I couldn't imagine. I thought. When the other group of spiders went down my stomach, right to my 2 other biological holes.